My name's Josh, and welcome to a first look at a mod that I am enjoying. It's the 1 Year War mod that takes Hearts of Iron 4 into the world of Mobile Suit Gundam, the Universal Centuries conflict that takes place spanning from UC 0079 to roughly 0080, or the first week of it, according to the show, compilation movie, and manga, except for the novelization, which, if I remember correctly, takes it all the way up to 0082, which, if we go off of that, which Thunderbolt set in, because if you look at some of the shots or in the scenes in the manga, you'll see 0080, 0081. So, and in this you can start at 0087, which is basically what is the start of what was it? Origin. Then you have this Operation British, which should be actually the first week of 0079, around mid-January, according to the show and almost all the manga. The only one that doesn't have it set in 0079 is actually Origin. And then we have the actual, where the start of the V project, where the Trojan horse is finished and first leaves Earth. I think that's only in Origin that this Trojan horse leaves on that. But let's go ahead and show off the scenarios here, where we have the two main factions, the Principality of Zeon and the Earth Federation. And you have several of the colonies, including Von Braun and Granada, the two main lunar colonies. And I'm trying to remember these names, because I'm used to Side 6, Side 2, Side 1. So I'm going to show each side. So let's jump in as Zeon real quick and just use that for the deal. Okay, this will show up with the current event on everything that they've done so far to the mod. And the next major update for this is going to be the space aspect, upgrading the map. They showed us an early glance by accident by uploading it, and it was quite fun, especially having to build your own, the Musais and all, or Solomons, and being able to bring troops up into orbit from Earth. And let's go ahead and look at the decisions, or the focus, which we have the traditional Zeon path here on this side. And we can alter by coming down here and basically choosing the more peaceful version. Or if you don't even want to have the zombies, you can go down and get Casval, or as a lot of people remember him as, Sharaznable. just come down here, the Shar and Artesia, go down to wipe out the Zabi family, and get the king abandon the people, and you'll get an event that replaces Gihren here with Sharaznable, and it'll eventually, you can get free of the Earth Federation. It'll change the Principality of Zeon or the Republic of Zeon to Neo Zeon. And each one, if you're still the Principality or come down here the more peaceful route, and you end up fighting the 1-year war, which you'll need to build up a ton of mobile suits, tanks, rifles, because I'm not sure if they're going to change it or not. They haven't said they are, but the invasion of Earth, all troops are actually spawned from what you have already manufactured. So if I started the invasion as of right now, I'd only be able to deploy roughly 3,000 tanks, light combat vehicles, and about 12,000 troops. And with the mobile suits, you all actually have to develop the actual mobile suits themselves. You start off with Zeon. It's a given to have the MSO5 Zaku 1. There's no variance, it's just this. You can upgrade it and name it the MSO5A, B, C. The only other variants technically, but this is in the here where you'll be able to create a Zaku sniper rifle or have a sniper rifle support unit. And as of right now, they don't have any models for the Zaku, but over in their Discord, they do have the MSO5 model pretty much finished and animated from what I remember looking on there the other day. But the only other models that they do have are the Earth Federation and Zeon ground forces for the infantry, and see if I remember, the drop fighter and the core block fighter on the Earth Federation. And as you can see there, they do have a lot of mobile suits from the actual OVAs, especially can't even remember how to pronounce the Obelisk project from the 8th MS team. Both the prototype and the second prototype, which the first one they first get a glimpse of it when I think it's Miguel, and I'm trying to remember the one that's the musician's name, go basically AWOL. And then the second one where Aina and, oh man, I can't even remember his name now, get back together. And you do have the flight type Goof, which it is a decision that you'll have to repeat. I've only got it after 7 times. I've finally get the it's working, and it will automatically give you this to produce. But you will have to do 30 or 35 flight air experience for it. You'll have to build both the machine gun, bazooka, the melee, well, yeah, the machine gun, the bazooka, and the melee, and shield for each, and they all will use it. So once you get the heat sword, even the Zakus will switch from this from the heat hawk to the heat sword, and eventually the heat saber. Same with all the way through to the Goof shield. Well, you can go in there and tell them not to use it, use each one, but I'd rather not. I always just let them use whatever they want. And the mobile suits, you'll get the command type, or the S, which will give you an actual unit. That goes same for the exam system version of the Afreed. I would like to have had the high mobility Zaku 2 as its own separate model, but it is what it is. It just gives you like strength to your space forces right now and Army, Air, and Navy experience, which you will be able to get those via some focuses. The Goof and the MS-14 Goof Marine are actually mobile suits. Same with the commander type. And they do have their own beam weapons. The beam machine gun, and you'll still have to do the beam saber. And you'll have to do the beam sniper rifle in order to unlock the Zaku 1. And as of right now, the Navy, the Space Forces, the battleship, cruiser, the Musai, and all of them are here, and they're not actually used. They're just there to give out some experience and space strength, which in this variant I have no idea how that is actually used, because if you go here, it just says for superior, equal, or whatnot. And even though the Earth Federation has 46 and Zeon has 2, it's always stayed even for me. Even when I'm having, on the Earth Federation, having almost 80, so as I don't know much about that. We even have the new type, which you'll have to get the knowledge up to this before you can do the new type institutes, which will be decision here to spread the new type to get some more levels so you can move it up. And you'll have to have the knowledge so you can unlock this. There's the Jupiter Fleet business, which, in the Antarctic Treaty was declared neutral and could provide for both resources for both sides as long as nobody messed with them. Let's see. There's also the Zaku tank, which I'm trying to remember which one was this in. I'm trying to remember. But we also have the hover locomotion artillery piece that was in 0083. See, this is pretty much the same. Now, what's changed is engineering. you'll have to get the Minovsky particle compact fusion reactors. You have to go down to the second level before you can unlock beam weapons, the beam rifle and the beam saber, the radios, and here you'll have to go down here to get radar stations. And once you get the new type institute, you can form the new type research. This is the same. This is pretty much the same as it is on the Earth Federation side, which I'll show here in a little bit. And we can have all the mobile armors, the big dom, and the doctrines are pretty much the same, except for they have MS and all that added to them. The Air Force, the Zanzibar assault ship, which is basically a overworked transport, is actually used as a bomber and a supply ship, because you can fly supplies in with them or paradrop troops with it. At the GAO, and you can actually get the version of this that actually can have the Zaku 2 or the Goof standing on the back. And you have to research this mobile armor in order to even get this unlocked, which will be a decision to make. Same with the Navy aspect. You have to have the Zaku 2F before you can get the Zaku Marine type and the other amphibious mobile suits. And pretty much you get most of these unlocked. I don't bother wasting my time researching these, because you'll get the first level of these unlocked when you, or if you capture California base. Let's see what else. And the 1 year war transport combat weapons. The support is basically the same equipment. And yeah, we forgot about the Magellan attack tank. And that's pretty much it for the Zeon side. I'll be back in a moment with a showcase on the Earth Federation. Okay, I'm back with the Earth Federation, and we'll start off with basically General Revil as the leader of the Earth Federation. With the focus tree, we can go down the more harsh route, and then switch over to basically appeasing Zeon, or go down the Titan's path, or the traditional go to war with the Zabis, or you can go with more lenient and try to go down more, basically come down here and go to everybody's free. But let's go over here to the research. Oh, there is one thing I want to point out, which I'm not a big fan of. In order for this, for you to research mobile suits as a the Earth Federation, mobile suits have to be revealed. Considering that we get a ton of events for mobile suits development by the Zeons, including the mobile worker, which is basically the MSO5 that's stripped down, or was it the MSO4? It was stripped with all armor and just used as heavy construction equipment. But we have to wait until the MSO6 is revealed before we can start the V project. Or, in order for this, we could start the V project if world tension is at 20%, but normally when that's at 20%, you're about a year away from going to war. So you're going to have to quickly run down here after getting that. Get the mobile carriers and quickly grab the V project. And hope you have several other things researched. Like, well, you can get this for the mechanized infantry. But in order for you to get mobile suit, you have to have both the Minosky compact fusion reactor, the learning computer, and the field motor system before you can even go over here and research the core block fighter, which you have to have. Which I can understand having to have that to research both the RX-77 gun cannon, gun tank, and the Gundam. Which you can research all the way down to the GPO, the 4 technically, even though this was actually turned into a different unit by Anaheim Electronics, because it wasn't fully completed. But you can get the GPO-1 and the full Burnian, which I really don't understand why you have to research the GPO-1 to get the GPO-2, when all 3 of these were developed at the exact same time. And the Thunderbolt, which I'm not a big fan of, since in the last OVA movie they actually show the Granddaddy Gundam with the backpack fighting at Baoku. And considering that Thunderbolt has everything completely different positions from where they are from the shows and the other mangas. So, yeah, and the ball we don't actually get to see. It's just basically a placeholder, I think. I'm not sure if they're gonna have these as units or not. Both sides have the same artillery. The Earth Federation, you can develop the early gun tank, which will replace your tanks. So you really don't need to research this tank. And the air units, you get the core block fighters, which the core booster 2 replaces your standard space fighter, or actual fighter. And the core fighter is like I said earlier, the other model that they have so far. And you have the assault carriers, the Pegasus, the Grey Phantom, which is in 2 games, the Zeonic Front and in I'm trying to remember the other one that has the storyline with play on the Earth Federation. It's primarily the Earth Federation that you play. It's an old PS2 game, but it's the story is set around the GPU, the RX-78 4 and 5, and I wish there is one mobile suit I do wish that Gundam they had in here, which is they had the variants for the GPU, the G3, the 4, 5, and the 6, the Mudrock. I do wish they had those in here, but beggars can't be choosers. They do have my favorite GM, the Command, at least. And we do have the Quell, and all the way down to the GM2, the RGM 179. And going back here, we have the Salamis and the Magellan, including the last variant, the Albion. I don't even remember seeing these in the show. I barely remember this in the the 8th MS team and one of the mangas that basically told what happened after the game on Zeonic Front. And we have the Earth Federation mobile suits, where you have to do everything: the beam sabers, the machine guns, the beam rifles for the Gundams, and you have to do the sniper rifles before you can even deploy the RX-77. You have to develop the beam sniper rifles. And before you can get the GMs with beam rifles, you have to develop the beam rifle for it. So you'll be stuck using machine guns until you can develop this. Which there is one thing you're going to want to build as the Earth Federation is synthetic factories or synthetic refineries for that titanium. Because all mobile suits will take it on the Earth Federation. It's like, can be anywhere between 1 and 2 depending on the development. So, let's see. And, well, considering that you have a ton of factories that you can use to just spam out the build quickly compared to the Zeon side, I'm going to switch over real quick and I'll show you the Zeon's operation for dropping units into the Earth Federation drop zones. And each side will get a different orbital drop. If you're Neo-Zeon, you'll get the dropping of Axis. And if you're Zeon, the Principality of Zeon, you'll get the Operation British. But I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back, and if you can tell, I do have Sharazmul as the leader of Neo-Zeon. And we are technically independent from the Earth Federation, since we're not part of their subjects. And we do have the declaration of war. We get what we have the operation to drop the colony. And yeah, I forgot to mention this on both earlier. You do get Zeon and Earth Federation generals from the books, the manga, the shows, and there's others that you can pick up. Like, well, I've got Aina here from the 8th MS team leading a group that's planning on to invade. I'm not sure this was supposed to be allowed, but I do have... Let's see here. Amphibious mobile suits, basically in space. In order for you to get troops into space as the Earth Federation, your best option is to build an airfield here on this island and use assault carriers to pair-drop forces. That's after you've fought Zeon to a stalemate. So let's go ahead and declare war on the Earth Federation real quick. Oh. When it doesn't declare war. Yeah, the colonies will get their deals to declare neutrality and all that. I could have called in my allies here, which I do have both Von Braun and Grenada as allies. And like as I said, you'll want to produce a ton of Zakus here. Just go ahead and have everything. See? Because I don't know why I have that for that. Takes too long. Now let's go ahead and do this. Build up the solar array and organize the drop, troops on the Earth. This is how you get the operations for the invasion of North America and the other places. And we'll have an event down here soon for more pilots, which will take command points. And we have the space battle. Okay, they've actually declared neutrality. And we have access going to drop. There is a chance for it to actually not work. Okay, we actually do have up here. And let's go ahead and delete that, since it's not going to be needed. As I said, right now they're just using the tanks. And we have to wait for basically 27 days, 4 days until we find out that Axis is dropped. And what? Let's take Aina's off here and move both forces here. And as I said, we have the flight types. Zaku's here, our Goofs. Take Aina. Here, drop. Here. And should go here soon. Alright. No longer need that. Have him do the same. And we wait for everything to drop. And just springboard all the way, and you can capture pretty much all of the colonies, and including Luna 2, since you can't put much troops in. Go ahead and probably speed through here. Oh, I did not have that going. Oh, I need to move. Fighters here. And as soon as I put these guys up, and yeah, they do have close air support and naval strike. And now you'll see the models go up, and that's showing that there's some fighters and all that. Okay, the birth of Ace. Now we have, you can get Johnny Raiden, Gato, Shin Maganazi. I can't even pronounce his name. But, yeah. What's let's get this here. How much more do we get? 24 more days. And we do have it. It did hit. And with Operation British, which most Gundam fans know, it's Sydney, and Axis lands over here up here in Ireland and the Sea of Ireland area. Let's get everybody back up here. Move fighters here, and actually we can move both fighters here. And we can use Aina to just leapfrog. Over here. And we can land here in Luna 2. I really don't go after Site 7 all that much. Due to the fact that it's much of a waste of time, because you really can't land forces Okay, let's get Aina to do one repair drop on Luna. Still 19 days away. Well, it would help if I had that. Like I said, you can supply drop over here, bomb. This is basically your strategic bomber. As soon as we get side 7, I'll go back here and finish up side 4. I think I have enough. No, I only have 2. You need a few more in order to be able to land 3 mobile suits. Alright, we can get a few more pilots. And yeah, mobile suits, you'll want to always keep Zaku's being produced. That's one thing you need to produce. And you'll have to manufacture all the weapons that each mobile suit will use. Alright. Let's get him to do his pair drop. They'll be stuck behind the lines until he can't. Oh, come on. You won't be able to get him out until you build something. Or build a naval base or port. Okay. Let's get him. Captured, because here you can't do it, can't get any supplies until, so you're stuck basically supplying them via airdrops. Then you'll need to quickly build that, which I've spent time building up Zeon's industrial. Okay, 3 days left. Yeah, they'll have operations to fight. Okay, Earth invasion. There's three invasions that you can use. And here's the invasion operations. Let's put one in New York and California. Remember how many units you have. It'll tell you how many weapons, Zakus that you're going to need. Throw as many as you can in this, because you'll have 8 or so million. You can just throw as much as you can. It'll split it all up. Between both sides, and when you think you have enough forces, which I never made any motorized or mechanized infantry templates. So let's drop, and we have the forces in California, which I do sometimes break into individual forces, but for this I'm not going to. And put in somebody in command, and same for New York, which, as I said, you have all these commanders. You can promote up to field generals. Most of them only have, like Johnny Ride and Mobile Suit pilots, can only have 3 divisions. In their deal. And once you start, you'll get in a deal where you can move. In 120 days, you can do. You have to have this invasion. Second one will come here soon. Be able to do the invasion. Now the second one you can do the same. Do over here Odessa, Europe, which I enjoy doing. You can do Africa, South Asia. But I'm gonna bring this episode to a first look to a close here with the successful landings, which I, for one, cannot wait for the models for the mobile suits to come in. You can easily just tanks and all that quickly just overrun anything. Yeah, we have control of California base. You just need to capture New York. And once you get California, you get all the naval stuff that the Earth Federation had. So, as I said, it's kind of pointless to do the research on the Navy when they basically give you what they had. So, if you liked the episode, hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't. Hit the little bell icon to receive notifications on new episodes as they come out. And if you like the mod, go and subscribe to them on Steam. And they do have a Discord, which is linked there on their Steam page. It's basically them showing everything every week. They'll show something new on there, what they're working on. And with that, have a good day.